Hello everyone and welcome back to the Perennial round of 32. Gonna be a pretty good matchup, I think, between these two teams. It's Ben versus Bedge. A couple of teams who have some very solid players on their sides. I think a couple of scheduling issues with this matchup, given where all of these players from. Ben, a full Americas stack, whereas Bedge, a full Europe and Asia stack. So a little bit of scheduling problems with these two teams, but hopefully that keeps things close for both of them. My name is Dio. I'm back here again with Demarsh. Good afternoon, Demarsh.
Good afternoon once again, Dio. Oh, it's a pleasure, as always, to be here. Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited for this one. I like the lineups of some of these players. RLSC, Paracat, Kahest, Pure Ruby, some really good players on both teams. Empress Trail Mix, Yip. Should be fairly familiar, especially to a lot of high-end tournament players. Good members well-known players on both sides. So hard to really break these two apart, to be honest. I like both of them.
Pretty solid lineup for both of these teams, definitely. Already into the bans for these teams. Bedge banning out Nomad 4. Not wanting Tech Map. It is one of the more difficult maps in the map pool for this weekend, so understandable to be banning that out instead of one of the other maps. Nomad 5 getting banned out by Ben as well. These teams are actually fairly close. There's a lot of maps that Bedge has over Ben and vice versa. But the biggest thing is that there's a pretty clear Nomad mechanics and DT mechanics advantage for Bedge over Ben, whereas Ben has a pretty solid Nomad gimmick and sort of hidden in hard rock advantage over Bedge. So you're looking to the various mod categories for Ben and free mod especially, whereas you're looking to sort of DT and Nomad 5 sort of stuff for Bedge. And yeah, Pure Ruby not super happy about that ban from Trail Mix right now.
Yeah, I think considering the way that free mod is handled in this tournament, it greatly benefits a team like Ben. Very versatile on these hidden hard rock maps over their opponents. So considering they can take advantage of that, I think they're probably in the slightly stronger position, especially once we get into the second ban phase. I think we'll see a lot of options get really diminished for the Bedge side. But they do have the DT in their favor, I think. So, not saying Ben are a necessarily poor DT team. They're actually very strong, but the consistency overall for Bedge, I think, is higher from their team.
Yeah, this is gonna be the first pick for Ben. It's Hard Rock 2 Shippuden Drive by Kuma Fury. This is not the OWC Grand Finals map set. Well, it is the map set, same one. But not quite the same difficulty, much lower difficulty on the same set. Not even the CS5 standard you see for precision picks in tournament. This one's CS 6.2, I believe, after the Hard Rock mod is applied. Still the same sort of weird, streamy sort of stuff that you get even in that OWC Grand Finals difficulty, just scaled down quite a bit for this map. When comparing it to the qualifiers Hard Rock 2, I think there's a very clear difference in skill set between these two. Amnolis from qualifiers, a lot more gimmicky, a lot more focused on the 1/3, and a lot more focused on aim control and finger control, whereas this one, yeah, there is still that aim control and finger control element to it, but there's a much bigger focus on just sort of the raw mechanics.
Yeah, and I think as well, because of that, and the accuracy side of things will play a massive factor in this one. Keeping your accuracy high is really going to allow good score build, even if your combo isn't on par as it should be. And because of the gimmicky style of this, you expect to see accuracy drops, you know, slip-ups on the 1/3. Hopefully not the combo, but, you know, obviously that being the worst-case scenario, but definitely some accuracy drops if they're not careful. So we're really looking at those players that are the strongest Aquwise, I think, to perform the best on this.
Definitely agree. We got some pretty good Act players on the side of Bedge as well. Trail Mix in particular, I think, going to be very, very solid for this sort of map. You have a couple of other players on this map in particular for Ben that I think are going to be pretty solid here. Arco is the main standout that kind of surprises me a bit to go in for this map, as he was not in on either Hard Rock in qualifiers, whereas everybody else who is in right now was actually in for both Hard Rocks during qualifiers for this team, so a very expected roster overall. You can also see a couple of players in for Bedge who are sort of their core roster. Chai Pukchep and RLSC going to be the two main players you see in on almost every map for this team. RLSC playing literally everything in qualifiers, and Chai Pukchep playing quite a few mechanics-based picks, the DTs and Nomad 2. A little bit surprised to see him in for this Hard Rock 2 pick, but again, the skill set difference, I think, having a lot to do with that on this pick. Pure Ruby, a very, very solid Hard Rock player, and Slifer, somebody who was in for both Hard Rocks during qualifiers for this team as well.
So we can see both teams really having that one player that hasn't got off to the best start. Arco or LSC, both finding drops here. This first stage. Pure Ruby looking like they've broken the deadlock, but not for the benefit of Bedge. Another drop for Bedge. They are down 2 full combos now. There goes Yip and Slipper, but Chep also finds a break. No full combos. Actually, anywhere. I didn't realize everyone had broke there, except RLSC.
Oh, but RLSC with the overtap right after that section does bring it back over into the favor of Ben by just a bit. The combo resets more frequent for Bedge during this breakdown stream section, and that might just be enough. Arco and Yip with a little bit of combo to their names to help close it out for Ben at the end of the map through the 1/3 and through the slider jump into the final stream. Only Yip to break between the two of them, as Arco going to be able to just about close it out here at the end. About 150,000 score lead for Ben by the end of this one. Very solid overall team consistency for Ben there. Pure Ruby having a bit of trouble with the map for Bedge and actually making the difference there, in addition to the standout score from Trail Mix, top scoring in the lobby with that 540k. And this is kind of why I was excited about this matchup, is because this opening map is far closer than any of the other maps that we have seen so far today. I think there's only been one map which was closer, which was the final pick between the Empire State and Tofu Gang. That was about a 70k score difference, but first pick being this close really bodes well for an overall close match, and I think that's probably what we're going to expect between these two teams.
No time wasted, going straight into DT2. Edge, they want to get that point on the board. They want to keep this nice and even. And I think this is probably one of their strongest maps, really. Their DT scores, they were very high, very consistent. They will probably stick with the same roster that we saw in qualifiers. They have a good core 4. I'm expecting to see RLSC. I'm expecting to see Slipper and Chai Pukchep. and Kahest as well for this one. Anyone else coming in? It's a bit of a surprise.
I can definitely agree with that. With that in mind, it looks like they are just going to be sticking with a pretty normal lineup for them. However, Arnold 576 coming in for this, I think, is pretty good for Bedge. Arnold 576, the one player on their team who did not play qualifiers. Similarly for Kama on the side of Ben, did not play quals for them. But Arnold 576, very, very solid speed player in general, has a lot of really solid stream scores. But for a map like this, which is a little bit lower BPM, right, you're only looking at about 233 BPM on this map. It's not super fast. So long as you have some level of base stamina, you're gonna have an okay time with this. And so I think it makes a little bit more sense for Arnold to be in on this one.
Is it just an Arnold thing, like Arnold and speed? Like, if you're named Arnold, are you just a natural speed player? Like, what's the...
Well,
surely there's some correlation there.
But there's definitely... I don't think it's necessarily correlation on this one so much as it is Arnold 576 just naming himself after Arnold 24x24. Because 24 times 24 is in fact 576, and so you know, I think it's a little bit of admiration there rather than just coincidence.
The Arnold clan tag.
Yeah. Just doing the math for him over there. Pretty solid start for both teams on this map. Nobody breaking so far. Accuracy. Oh, there goes RLSC as I say that. Accuracy actually pretty solid for both squads as well. I think Kama coming in for Ben, going to be a very solid player on this map. Venpris is usually fairly good at a wide variety of picks. I think we can expect to see him in for a lot of different picks. Arco does trade them. Oh, that's a three-way break for Ben. Is not what you want to see right quarter of the way into the map. A lot of time left on this pick for Bedge to miss, but it is only Kama now for Ben. Okay, it's nobody. It's nobody for Ben. They're not having a good time.
Yeah, a bit of an implosion there. Oh, well, not just a bit, a massive implosion for Ben. Just opens up the floodgates for Bedge to charge on through. They've still got two massive combos. Ben's got nothing. So it's really their map to lose at this stage.
Well, with Chep and Pure Ruby still holding on to these full combos, I don't think they're going to be losing it anytime soon. It's just looking like a really solid map for Bedge here. A little bit more one-sided than the first pick for Ben, but that is to be expected, right? We were looking towards these kind of DT tapping mechanics picks for Bedge to be really solid for them. And indeed, this is a very good first pick for Bedge. Bodes very well for stuff like the DT3 or for No Mod 5. Not sure how the flow aim is for Bedge, and that's the only reason I don't mention the No Mod 2, is it is a slightly different type of map than what we saw in qualifiers, but you can reasonably expect them to do pretty well on DT3 given the difference on Double Time 1 in qualifiers. So very solid overall pick for Bedge, and we have ourselves our first non-sweep of the tournament. Demarche, the lower-seeded team, has taken a point for the first time so far. It's cause for celebration.
Wahoo! Did I do it right? I think I celebrated, right? That counts, right?
I feel like this is a massive cultural difference between Britain and the United States going on right now. I don't know about you guys.
Well,
But,
it's the common thought of half glass half empty, half full. You look at that as in they got a point. I look at that as in there's 4 more. You know, always bringing the positivity. That's what I'm here for. That's what I bring. So you're welcome.
Well, anyway. Alrighty. Well, we got our next pick lined up here. It's Hidden 2, picked up for Ben this time around. This is a pick for the red team. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get that one going. This is the low approach rate hidden map, right? We saw this earlier in the weekend, earlier in the day, actually, in the last match. Gento Yukaku by Hatsuki-Yura. Very kind of standard, awkward aim, low approach rate hidden map here that kind of just does the job for a low approach rate hidden early on. There's not any patterning in this map that is made way more difficult by the low approach rate. It's just very, very awkward, and that makes it very easy to miss on just random stuff. So you're looking to your very good, consistent hidden players for this type of map. By the way, second prediction is out for this map as well.
Yes, go and gamble, everybody. You know you want to.
Gambling shoes on. Waiting on just the players to ready up, I think, at this point. Arco, Trail Mix, Vempress, and Yip in for Ben. Does make a lot of sense given who was in during qualifiers. Maybe lane missing from the side of Ben right now, as Arco is in once again on a map for which he did not play in qualifiers. Kahest, Paracat, Arnold, and Sliper in for Hidden 2. I think also makes fairly good sense for the side of Bedge. This was by far their weakest map in qualifiers. Bedge only scoring 947,000 here on Hidden 2. I kind of expect them to ban out Free Mod 1 after this also. Maybe banning out Hidden 1 as that was their other lowest score out of qualifiers. But clearly good research done by Ben on this map.
Yeah, Slipper there finding quite a nasty break. Really dropped his accuracy. Kahest as well. Also running into similar difficulties. Looks like solid scouters so far, but they need to keep it up as Arco also finds a break. Safety cushion falling a bit, but Slipper finding a bit of a... He's just really struggling on this, and Arnold is going to join him with another break there. Only one full combo left for Bedge, and you said this was all about consistency, and Bedge are not showing the level that they need to at this stage to take this map.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking like the blowout that it was supposed to be on paper. Right, Hard Rock 2 was another map where there was a pretty massive comfort level difference in qualifiers between Ben and Bedge, but I think made a lot closer by just the type of skills that this Hard Rock 2 tests versus qualifiers. This one, that skill set difference not mattering nearly as much as the metadata, right? Very clearly there is a comfort difference on approach rate 8 hidden between these two teams. Yip still holding the SS halfway through the map. 99% full combos for both Trail Mix and Vempress as well to support. So the fact that Arco is a little bit uncomfortable on this map, just not mattering at all. There goes Yip. No SS today, no full combo today for Yip either, but the damage is done. They are 800,000 score up and climbing for Ben, and so, yeah, despite these good combos from Kahest and Arnold, I just don't think it's going to matter. The accuracy as well is going to play a big role in keeping the overall score down. From now, Kahest and Paracat are the only two players with combo on the side of Bedge.
Yeah, there's just far too much score. They're going to have to pull back, and I really can't see a way for them to do it. Definitely think they're going to close the gap, but positive it's not going to be enough with only a quarter of the map left. And Kahest, what was that? Did you see that?
Yeah, just over tapping, I think. I don't know, man. Just
there was nowhere to move the cursor, and yet he missed it. What?
It happens on maps like this. Happens on low perch rate hidden.
But yes, if it wasn't already decided, that had definitely closed the window. Ben with a solid scout picked this. They took full advantage of the weakness from Bedge, and they get a second point on the board. 800k.
Yeah, so match starting out as expected between these two seeds, right? You expect close seeds to have close maps and to win some picks by a pretty wide margin. This one definitely a pick by a wide margin. It looks like we might be getting Double Time 3 as a next map between these two teams. There are no restrictions on picks or bans, so you can pick whatever you want, whenever you want. Doesn't matter if it's a double pick in the same mod category or not. You can pick whatever you are good at, whatever you want to play at that moment. So Bedge probably picking DT3. That's what I would expect from them. Maybe we see DT1 just for, if they're looking for more of the aim. But I would expect to see more speed-focused maps picked from them right now.
Well, you can't pick tiebreaker, of course.
Oh, well, you got me there. You got me there.
It's always locked behind the door. Or is it? Maybe it'll be played, maybe it won't be. Stay tuned to find out. There you go. That's my food for thought.
Well, it might be played, you never know.
I'm getting ahead of myself. There's a long way to go yet.
There is quite a long way to go, although it's looking pretty good so far. It's looking pretty good early on in this matchup. As we get what is probably going to be a win for Bedge. We all saw what happened on Double Time 2. I think that it's, probably going to be a pretty solid score line for Bedge, as both the qualifier results and the previous maps that we have seen point to them being very good on this DT3. This one more akin to the Double Time 1 in qualifiers than the Double Time 2 in qualifiers. Double Time 2 really kind of your finger control speed hybrid, much like the DT2 we have in this map pool. Whereas this one is far more focused on just the raw bursts and speed aim mechanics that you find in a lot of typical Double Time 3s in tournament map pools nowadays. So kind of lines up very well with what we had going on in Double Time 1 during qualifiers, where it was more of a hybrid map than just a pure aim DT pick like you usually see. It does, however, mean that Ben not likely to have a super solid lineup for this one. We, in fact, do not see their top scorer of Mega MK in on this map for Ben, so I think this is pretty likely to not go very well. They do have the rest of their roster from that DT1 in qualifiers in, but Mega MK was their top scorer by a pretty wide margin, 940k on DT1 and 1.1 mil on DT2 in qualifiers for them, so very clearly their best speed and tapping player, and actually, I think overall one of the best players on their team, if not the best player on the team. So it definitely hurts not to have Mega MK in for this map.
So far outside of accuracy drops, we're looking good to start with, but there goes Kahest, the first one to drop. It's on the side of Bedge.
However, Arco and Ventress going to trade it right away, and so not what you want to see. And Kama for Ben now, so this is kind of what we expected. We're already halfway through, by the way. This is a very short map, so 3 full combos to 1 halfway through the map.
Yeah, when a map's that short, 500 combo is a massive amount of the map. And a second break from Arco there is probably going to spill Doom for you as Kama finds another break there. It's just Rudd there on his own, up against 3 full combos and a recovering Cahest. This is a dominating score and a very deserved point for Bedge. It's 2 apiece.
Wow, what a solid scoreline for Bedge. I mean, aside from the early miss from Cahest, that is a 3-way full combo and a very good recovered combo for Cahest. Don't look at the accuracy, but it's but very, very good score regardless. And that is a wide margin of victory there for Bedge. So very, very good job from them in taking 2 pretty convincing points on the speed maps in this pool. It does, however, bring us to our second round of bans. For those unfamiliar with the rules in the tournament, you have 1 round of bans right at the start of the match, and then a second round of bans after 4 maps have been played. And so we are going to get Bedge's second ban first. We do already see Nomad 5 banned out by Ben, and it's pretty likely we're going to see either DT1 or Nomad 2 getting banned out by Ben afterwards. Now, Hidden One banned out by Bedge, I think, makes a lot of sense. You all saw how one-sided that Hidden 2 was, and so banning out the Hidden One, I think, does good things for Bedge's overall chances in this match. Similarly for Ben, again, DT1, Nomad 2, kind of the 2 obvious choices for a ban for them.
Yeah, you can, just based on qualifier results, you can almost see like a path to victory here for the side of Ben Ready. They are going to ban the Nomad 2. Keep that DT1 open. So, considering those bans, I think both teams, they've probably got like 1 solid pick left that I think they should win, but Ben is not going to go Hard Rock 1. Okay.
They are not going to go Hard Rock 1. They're going to go Nomad 3 instead. And you know what? I'm not opposed to this Nomad 3 pick. I think Ben has a much better time on Nomad 4, but of course, again, the Nomad 4 is banned out. You're looking at Nomad 1, Nomad 3, Hard Rock 1, DT1, and both free mods left up. There's a couple of places where I think you could argue, okay, yeah, going free mod would be very solid. The Hard Rock 1 is one of those places. Free mod 2 and free mod 1, I think, are both pretty solid picks for them. But Ben is playing with not their full roster, right? They do not have Mega MK, and so taking into Hard Rock 1, where Mega MK was one of their main contributors, maybe not the best idea for their current roster. So this is still a pretty solid pick, and to boot, they have the full roster for this map that they had in qualifiers as well. They are going to be subbing in, it looks like Rudge for Arco instead is going to be coming in for this one, but overall I think a pretty solid pick for them here. I'm waiting on one more member from Bedge.
Yeah, I'm looking at these qualifier results, and this might be closer than I think a lot of people expect it to be. I'm quite looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. This is probably, at least in my eyes, probably the closest map I think we're going to see for a while in this matchup. So we'll see if Ben pull through on this one, but I am still surprised they went with this map. I can see why they would go for it, but it's surprising nonetheless.
Luckily, some client lag here to make the prediction not quite as rigged in favor of whoever breaks early on this map. A couple of early breaks from RLSC, but again, this one's probably pretty close. This is a relatively difficult map for this map pool as well, so the team with a higher skill cap tends to be a little bit favored on this map. For that reason, I do think it's a little odd that we see Paracat in for this pick from the side of Bedge, by far the lowest ranked player on their team. But somebody who was in for No Mod 3 during qualifiers for them. Does make sense to see RLSC and Kahess in, and Arnold taking over Slifer's position. Does make sense. A pretty, again, well-rounded player. Arnold could be pretty solid on a wide variety of these maps. 2 full combos to 2 now as we see a couple early breaks from RLSC, Arnold, Trail Mix, and Kama. Yip, Vempress, Paracat, and Kahess still holding the full combos.
Big chain miss there for RLSC. Supporting combos may play a factor as we see Parakeet drop his full combo. Really in favor of Ben now. As it's 2-1 full combo wise.
Make a loser here. A very long map, very consistent test of that flow aim. Right now, Yip and Vempress really proving to have that consistency. Kahest a little bit down in accuracy in comparison, and needing some extra supporting combo here. Kama and Trail Mix both with a better recovery than anyone on the side of Bedge so far. And so as these full combos continue to hold for Yip and Vempress, the score lead is going to go further and further in the favor of Ben. And even though the score lead isn't as massive as some of the previous score leads we've seen for Bedge on some of the DTs, this combo lead is going to eventually make that lead a lot bigger. And it's very hard to claw back a lead like this when you only have one player holding onto that full combo in Kahest. RLSC dropping the support as well, and now it is just Arnold alongside Kahest to bring up the rear against 2 full combos, and Trail Mix is almost 1,000 combo now.
Well, there goes Vempress, drops the full combo, but I mean, there is not enough time in this map. We are on the outro at this stage. There is not a lot of score left once we get to the ending. And Yip's still holding strong. It's been a good recovery from Arnold, but he does finally drop it. And with 1 combo apiece, it's not going to go anywhere. This is going to stay firmly in the hands of Ben. And what I was thinking to be a close map has... my expectations have been blown out of the water here, like, damn.
Yeah, this was a pretty solid run from Ben on this map. Yip with the full combo, Vempress not too far behind there at 740k by the end of the map. And then you just have these pretty massive supporting scores from Kama and Trail Mix. Every single member of Ben outscoring even the second highest score from the side of Bedge. And so you get just a very, very one-sided affair at the end of it, into a pretty obvious double time 1 pick now to come out from the side of Bedge. I mean, they have been picking speed all match long. Not really a surprise. We saw No Mod 5 and No Mod 2 get banned out by Ben, clearly saying, yeah, we'll face you on DT1. This is an aim map. This is not a speed map. Despite the fact that this is in the double time pool, it really is aim focused. This one has very, very few bursts, and so almost a completely different test compared to the other maps in the DT pool. Definitely something that I think Ben has a much better chance on than a lot of the other speed maps that we've seen, and frankly is something that we don't really have a point of reference for given the qualifiers, just because of how similar qualifiers DT1 was to this pool's DT3 instead of DT1. So looking for the solid aim players to come out from either side, and to make it happen on this map. If you're rooting for a close match, you're rooting for Bedge on this pick, as Ben currently already up 3-2. Bedge looking to tie it up with this pick.
Yeah, and they're going to have to pull out something special on this. I think this is probably, considering Ben didn't ban this, instead looking to ban No Mod 2, they obviously feel out of those two maps that this is probably their strongest one. They're going to at least try and put up a fight on this, so do not expect Bedge to get a clean victory on this.
All right. Looking for everybody to ready up here. We do have our full lineups. RLSC, Chai-Fik-Chep, Pure Ruby, and Kahest in for Bedge, up against Rudge, Arco, Venpris, and Kama for Ben. Again, a lot of players on the side of Bedge who are just DT players. In fact, everybody who is in right now having gone in for either DT1 or DT2 in qualifiers as well for them. On the side of Ben, you've got essentially, I think, just Kama coming in favor of Mega MK compared to their qualifiers runs with the double time. So not a huge departure from the qualifiers rosters for either of these teams, and you can see already pretty close here. Actually, RLSC dropping and Pure Ruby dropping, giving a pretty big combo advantage now over to Ben, as Kama does match one of the misses, but only Chai-Fik-Chep with the full combo left up for Bedge at the moment.
Yeah, Bedge looking to be a bit in trouble here. But again, there's time for recovery. Kama finds the break, which is just what Bedge need. Supporting combos starting to bring up the rear now. They're still down on a full combo, but if these supporting combos hold, it isn't going to take much for them to battle with it. As Arco finds a break for Ben here. It's starting to go the other way now. As the supporting combo it's a 4-man versus a 2-man here, and they are winning it at the moment. RLSC does just find a break, though. It's quite even, but Pure Ruby is going to break that, and it's probably going to go back to Ben now with the 2 full combos still holding, to be honest.
Yeah, Rudge and Venpris are just doing so much work right now for Ben in pulling the score over and securing a breakpoint for the first time in this match, now up 4-2. And while it had been close beforehand, it is now solidly in favor of Ben after that DT1 pick for Bedge had gone awry. Kahest with the 1 miss. So close to completing the full combo, and likely would have been enough to keep the score on their side, tie it up 3-3. But now Ben with the chance to just close this out 5-2 if they can win their next pick. There are a lot of maps left up at this point that could go fairly well for them. I think particularly the free mods just look so good for Ben that either of them will do, and either of those maps would probably go pretty well for them here. Depends on what they're feeling, though. You've got No Mod 1 Hard Rock 1 and Free Mod 2, all different types of aim maps, and then, of course, Free Mod 1, the AR8 CS5 pick in Free Mod. Relatively difficult, I think, in comparison to the other maps that are left up as well.
Yeah, see, it's interesting how Free Mod has just been left completely alone by both teams for whatever reason. But I still think it favors Ben. I kind of wonder whether they will go into Free Mod here, because they will. Because I'm just not fancying them on that hard drop 1. I thought they were initially going to go for it after the second ban phase, but after they jumped around to No Mod 3, I was not expecting to see that in this match.
Oh, back into the for the first time into the free mods actually now, as we do get free mod 2, and Yeah, I was kind of expecting them, like you said, to go into Hard Rock earlier on in the match, but not to be, it looks like. Just going to go with the free mod, and I think part of the reason is that Hard Rock 1 is very slider focused. It's sort of your light tech, slidery aim Hard Rock 1, kind of like Twerk from OWC. This one, a very similar style of mapping, and so you don't necessarily see tons of teams that are super comfortable with it. Whereas this one, all awkward aim, wide angle jumps, things like that are often a little bit easier to make the adjustment to if your regular pure skill set is just jumping, than something like the slider aim that you see in Hard Rock 1.
Exactly, and I think that's what Ben are looking to capitalize on here, really. They want to try and close this out here. They cannot afford to drop a breakpoint here, otherwise we're very likely to go to a tiebreaker at that stage. So this is their chance. They worked hard for that breakpoint, but now they have to capitalize on it with this pick.
And yeah, Bedge learning the rules of the free mod pool the hard way. It looks like doesn't have full mods. It is 4 mods. Everybody has to mod. And you need at least 1 hidden and 1 hard rock or hidden hard rock. So yeah, Bedge, get your mods on. Everybody take a mod.
Hey, did they not get the welcome basket? I'm sure we sent them out to everybody. They explain the rules.
I'm sure there was the welcome basket on the info page. Every team just had to read through the info page, and they should have gotten their welcome basket. But apparently they didn't get their welcome basket, and they didn't read through the info page here. So
that's a shame. Yeah. There were some nice apples in there. They were very lovely.
Oh, there was. Well,
anyway,
they got the triple hard rock. They got the triple hard rock going on now for Bedge. Kind of expected, given how poor their performance was on the hidden mod pool, both in qualifiers and in this match. So no surprises there that they are going to go with the triple hard rock. No hidden hard rocks for anybody, though this is a map where I think you could argue hidden hard rock is fine in comparison to something like the free mod one. The patterning a bit more complex on that one, and so hidden hard rock kind of difficult in comparison. Maybe just hard rock alone.
Well, apparently they disagree. They are very comfortable where they are. And both teams keeping it nice and even to start this out. Early breaks, solid accuracies from players on both sides. I think it's slightly higher though for Ben. They've got those 2 hidden players who are really bringing up the accuracy. But Kama as well, very solid on a hard rock. Got higher accuracy than the hidden players, to be honest. There's Bedge. They've got very decent accuracy, but they are just getting slightly outscaled by the Ben side at this stage. And that break from Yip, though, is it going to get traded? It is by Kahest, but it was later.
Unfortunately, Slifer also trading the miss at the same time, so that is 2 breaks now for Bedge. Trail Mix going to answer it on the side of Ben, and so it is 2 full combos to 2, but Paracat also trading it on the hidden, and RLSC dropping the hard rock full combo halfway through the map. That just looks like game over in favor of Ben right now, as Vempress and Kama continue to hold on to these FCs for Ben. She's looking like a 5-2 ending to this match. Started out pretty close before we got our second round of bans, but as those speed picks got away from the map pool as Ben had banned out the last tapping focused map. Bedge, the DC1 pick not working out, and now left only with aim maps really at the end here.
Yeah, I just don't think the pool suited them really. Too one-sided against this team, and they needed a bit more well-roundedness. And as a result, they are not going to pick up this victory.
They definitely had a solid run through a lot of the speed maps in this pool. DT2 and 3, of course, going very well for them. But unfortunately, not able to transition it into a lot of the other maps. And you can't just have that one skill set in any 4 versus 4. You have to have multiple places where you can win. And unfortunately for Bedge, it just seems like they did not have those multiple skill sets or multiple places where they could take points off of Ben. Nomad 1 going unpicked despite being pretty bursty, and despite Bedge actually having a better score on Nomad 1 in qualifiers is a little unfortunate. I think they could have gone for that Nomad 1 pick and done pretty well with it. But again, the mods and the gimmicky nomads just so in favor of Ben makes it tough to pick after that second round of bans came up for Bedge. And so we will say goodbye to Bedge in the winner's bracket for now.
Yeah, it's never goodbye forever, it's just goodbye for now. Yeah, Bedge, they've got a bit of issues they need to sort out in terms of their consistency across their other mods. They probably need to try and pick into Nomad more. I think that was a little bit light on their feet. But again, a lot of their stronger maps did get banned out by Ben. They were unable to sort of speed abuse solely at this early stage. So they were unable to really do anything, which makes Ben the winner. Of course, very solid performance from them. I'm not sure, not the greatest scores. I feel like they definitely have got a lot more to show us. But it was enough to get them through this match.
And that's how it should be in these early stages. The more well-rounded team getting through to the round of 16. Not in dominant fashion like we've seen throughout the rest of the weekend. But again, they were missing players, missing arguably the best player on the team in Mega MK, and so understandable that they didn't have a completely dominant showing here for Ben, but still making it through nonetheless.